Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Delphine and in today's video we are going to talk about the Saint Laurent Sac de Jour bag, which is this little bag that I have right here next to me. I've made a video about my whole luxury handbag collection, but I could not go into much detail about each of the handbags, otherwise it would have lasted forever. And so that's why I'm doing now for each of these bags a specific review video and telling you everything that's important to know before you buy it. I'm looking at some general information, so color, sizes, prices, of course, materials, and then I will also tell you a bit more about my experience with the bag. This is a bag I have since, I think it's been 7 years, maybe almost 8 years, so I have extensive experience with this bag. So I cannot wait to share with you the pros, the cons, what I think about it. And after we will also look at what fits inside. And yeah, and so without further comment, let's get started. So first, some general information. So I had a look on the Yves Saint Laurent website, collected some information and so on to tell you the current status, right? Because again, I bought this one 7 years ago, so things have been changed. And the current bags are mostly very similar to this one with some small, tiny differences. But first of all, you have 3 available sizes in this one. So it's the one which has kind of hard, rigid leather. You have the nano size, which is smaller than this one. Then you have the baby size. This is the one I have. So it's equivalent to a small, I would say, in other brands. And then you have the small size, which will be more equivalent to a medium in other brands. The nano is all of these bags, nano, baby and small, are available in leather, smooth leather like the one I have, but also grained leather. They're also available for the baby and the small in crocodile embossed leather. So the smooth grain leather retail for 2,300 in this size and 2,500 if you have the croco embossed kind of style. And the smooth leather is 2,600 and the croco embossed one is 2,800. And for the nano, you have many more options. So if you want the leather smooth grained one, it's 1,950. But they also have a lot of many more exotic leathers. So for example, when I looked on their website, I saw it's in ostrich for 4,900, lizard for 4,700. Also, I'm sorry for the pronunciation of this, but I think il, something like that. It's 2,300. And they also, of course, have the crocodile embossed for 2,200. So it's crocodile embossed, right? It's not real crocodile. It's just a leather effect that it looks like crocodile. And that's about it. In terms of colors, they have rather classic neutral colors, except with the exotic leather, as you could see, they have a bit more fun colors, but otherwise it's rather neutral, toned down. So you have black, you have some beige, you have some camel, you have grays, of course, more, yeah, classic colors, I will say. I did not see any, for example, bright blue, bright greens, reds, fancy color styles. I did not see any with glitters or special effects like that. So it's rather classic, I would say. And then they have also another version of this bag. So this is the rigid one, which they call supple. And so it's a bit more, yeah, rounded, a bit more soft. And these are available in 4 sizes, but only in 2 kinds of leather. In 1 kind of leather. It's only available in grained leather, at least on their website. You will have the nano, which retails for 2,200. Then you have the baby, which retails for 2,500. The small, 2,800. And there they have a bigger size, which is the medium, which retails for 2,950. And this will be then their biggest size, the medium, and I guess it will be equivalent to a large in other brands. And this one I saw, they also have it in raffia at the moment, which is quite trendy in case you would be interested. And it retails for 3,300. So in terms of price, I have the feeling Yves Saint Laurent, when you compare to other brands like Dior or Louis Vuitton or so on, I find their prices quite reasonable, to be honest, because so this 2,600 euro is rather cheap, I would say, for a luxury brand. I mean, it's still a lot of money, but it's quite seldom nowadays to have luxury brands who still have kind of iconic handbags under 3,000. And Yves Saint Laurent do. Yves Saint Laurent does. And on top of that, the quality is actually good, and that's why we'll go a bit into my experience with the bag. I think I will show you a bit more first of all of the bag, then I can also meanwhile tell you a bit the things I've noticed and so on. So yes, it's like this, right? The back is very simple, looking the same than the front, just without the little Saint Laurent logo. This can be removed. Inside this little pocket, you have a little lock, golden lock. I personally never remove it, but if you want, you could also wear it like this, or you can wear it differently, basically, if you would like to. It's a real lock. You can actually open it. When you buy the bag, they give you a set of keys. You have really like here under something to open it. And so in the bag I have, so which was, as I said, many years ago, the keys were handled separately. And nowadays I saw that they have a little leather thing with the keys attached, and you can somehow attach it inside your bag so that you don't lose them, which, I mean, why not? It's actually a good idea. I, to be honest, don't know what I've done with my one. I think through time it's kind of got lost, because actually it's more of an accessory, right? You have a strap that you can adjust, and you have here this little thing to keep the strap in place. Like in most luxury handbags, the strap is removable. You have like little hooks like this. The same in the new version, it's exactly the same. I had a look. It looks, the other part looks very, very similar. Inside you have a zip pocket, and you have a little, let's say, pouch pocket. I don't know if you can see, yeah. And you have this zip pocket. Under you have the little metal feet, which are always very useful to avoid damaging your bag. You can unclip this if you would like to, and in the back too. And then you could, if you want, you could expand that. And then you could make the bag bigger if you need to have temporarily more space available, for example, in your bag. So this is, I think, always something that's, let's say, good to keep in mind. Good to know. And that's about it, I think, for the general information on the bag. The logo is written a bit everywhere. It's also written inside the bag. It's written on each of the little metal hardware parts. You will have Saint Laurent written on them. I really love this bag. It was my first luxury bag, so I wore it really a lot. And to be honest, I find that the leather has been holding very well, because for a bag that I wore a lot for 7 years, maybe the past years I have had more, so I've been wearing it a bit less, but you can see there's really almost no scratches, and it's a smooth leather, right? So nowadays it's on top of that available in grain leather, which tends to be even more durable. So I think from that part, it's good. I mean, it's been holding well. I've been quite impressed. Of course, I have a few damages, and I'm gonna show you the parts where I find it did not held that well. But again, bear in mind, I had it in 7 years, and I think for at least 3 years I carried this bag almost daily. So this is something, and I'm not as cautious with my bag as I wish I would be, but yeah, that's just how it is. I have a very busy life. I'm always running around, and I cannot always be super careful. I have to live my life, right? And I try to be as careful as I can, to take as much care of them as I can, of course, because they're precious. Especially this one. Again, it was my first one, and I told the story in the video I did where I showed all my bags. But I mean, it's the bag that started my love for handbags, basically. Before that, I had 1 or 2 handbags which I was wearing daily, which I liked, but it was more of a practical thing to me than a fashion thing. And then one day I saw a girl in the subway, and she was wearing this bag, but it was in black. and I saw it across the subway little train. We were both seated in it, but she was on the opposite side, and I could not see what the bag was. And then I was just like creepily, stop after stop, going closer to her, trying to find out what it was for a bag. I mean, I must have looked ridiculous now. But I guess my stealth level was good because I did not creep her out. She did not, either she did not see me, or she was just like, whatever. Again, a weird lady. But then I found out I could see that it was Saint Laurent, which partly broke my heart because at the time I definitely had no money to buy this kind of bags. But then it was on my wish list like this one day when I will start working, when I will start earning money and everything, I will save and I will get that bag. And the day I did was beautiful. So yeah, it's again, it has a special place and I love this bag and I find it very practical. You will see it fits a lot. But now to come to the little downside, I have actually to bring it to Saint Laurent to have a few things checked and repaired and everything. So one thing which happened is, of course, this is quite common. In the corners, you see the leather got a bit damaged. You see here there is some tiny scratches a bit on the bottom. But what annoys me a bit more is, I don't know if you will be able to see, it's kind of visible here. I don't know if you can see that here, like kind of the glue has been cracking a bit. I don't know how to show you properly. I don't know if you can see this. Wait, if I take my hand away, yeah, now you can see. So you see it kind of cracked, which annoys me a bit. It's mostly here in the bottom corner. The other part, it's fine. It also happens, let me check. Yeah, it also happens a bit on the top corner. I think you can see here, for example, this happened. It also happened in the handle. Let me show you. I don't know, I think if you can see. You see all the little cracks around? I think you can see them, yeah. And this is in both handles. So, I mean, in principle, it's not really visible. You see, I see it because I put my nose on my bag and I look at it from up close. But when you're walking around carrying it, no one will see it. And I guess it's a bit normal after all this year because of all the movement and so on. So those parts, those things get slightly damaged. But yeah, it still annoys me a bit. Another thing is that, so I wore it at the beginning a lot with a strap. And it comes for me, because I'm not so tall, around the hip. And so it's been rubbing on the side. And after a year of rubbing, look at what happened. Yeah, this is not nice. And I went to the shop and they told me they can replace them. They can get them changed. They can give me a quote at how much this would cost, because of course I have this bag since so long that it's not under any warranty anymore. But at the beginning, the first year, I think, or maybe even 2 years, you will have to ask your sales associate. This kind of damage might be still covered and they will replace them graciously without any fee. But for me, who has it for many years, then it's considered wear and tear. And yeah, so now it's also something I've learned. And with my other bags, I'm much more careful when I wear them like this. I try to change a bit, to change the size. I try to wear them also a bit more on the handle if I can. I try to vary a bit, and I try to, yeah, be careful, be mindful of this kind of potential problems. Inside, so the hardware itself has been wearing fine. It has tiny scratches, but nothing nothing abnormal. I will say it's even held quite well. The collar did not really scratch off. A tiny bit on some parts of the zip. Here you can see, but it's really minimal. I have some little paracetamol inside my bag. Then inside you have, I don't know if you can see, let me try to see you. How can I show you? Yeah, here especially, I think that's why it's the most visible. And that's one thing I think I find a bit annoying. I don't know. You can see here those scratches. I think you can see them. This is the zip. Because when you have it and you have your bag, and then you want all the time, the zip will just always come if you pull the bag closer, or when you want to unzip the bag and zip it back, because it's a square zip. Opa, the zip is, let me show you. The zip is squared, yeah. So these little corners are sharp. And I mean sharp, not sharp like you will hurt yourself, right? But sharp enough that they would, after a while, make some marks on the leather, especially when it puts itself like this, which happens quite regularly. And then, yeah, it will touch here. So that's one thing to, I would say, keep in mind. Then inside, the weather has been also wearing off a bit, especially here. I don't know if you can see it, the color. It's a bag that I've been wearing a lot again. So I will say, as my experience with the bag and the wear and tear, it's still good. It's not probably the best out there. For example, grain leather will hold even better. This little zip, it's a bit annoying. You saw here there's some cracks happening, some little on the kind of thing here on the edges. But this being said, I think one has to have also reasonable expectation with what you can expect in terms of durability of a handbag and how much you carry it and how well you take care of it. And I feel like this is normal wear and tear. It's nothing abnormal. It's nothing where I'm like, oh God, this should not be happening that early on. I feel like, yeah, okay, I've worn it so much, it's kind of logical that this kind of thing happen. So I don't think this is something that should pull you off buying it, but just that you know, this will happen. And for me, I like this bag. I use it still a lot. It's a great everyday bag. I'm gonna show you what fits inside, and you're gonna see also why, because it does fit a lot. So let's go on what fits inside this bag. I'm gonna start like in all my videos. So we have these two compartments. I tend to put in the front compartment the things I use the most because it's the most accessible, and I will put in the back compartment the thing I use maybe a bit less. So let's start. Some keys, of course, some tissues. I always need tissues. Hand disinfection gel, hand cream, a lipstick, a wallet, my in-ears, like I say in each for each of these reviews. So these are the Bose earring. The case is a bit earrings. What am I saying? In-ears. Those are earrings, right? And those are in-ears. And compared to the iPod Airs, for example, which I know a lot of people have, they're kind of twice bigger. It's really a big case. The iPod Air would be like half the size. So yeah, just that you know, I'm putting it inside the bag too. Okay, and let me show you. So I've been only filling the first half pocket, and there's still space. And the second compartment is still completely empty. So we can keep going, right? Why not? As long as there is space, put things inside. So I have, as always, my two books, the big one and the smaller one. Let's see. But I know almost from experience, I think, if I remember correctly, the big one should fit. Yeah, the big one fits. It fits quite nicely. No problem there. You can definitely fit in. The bag is not showing any sign of being overloaded, let's say. The leather it stays completely smooth. You don't have any losing shape issue here or anything like that. But now with everything I've put inside, I could still put my sunglasses case. The thing is just then it will start to be a bit tight, and you have to start optimizing a bit the space, and you cannot just drop the thing randomly inside anymore. So let me move a few things up, and I'm gonna put them in the front part. So you start seeing now a tiny, I mean, even though it's not really visible, huh? I mean, there is a slight here, little shape thing, but you don't really even see it. And I have all of this inside at the moment. So here are my sunglasses, my wallet, everything, my book, and it fits, huh? And it's no problem. So that's one thing that's great with this bag. again, you can fit a lot, which is amazing for an everyday bag. I could even add a little car for my son in it. And then, yeah, then we start to be like really, really, really full. Or I could also remove the sunglasses and put something else inside, like a little snack for my kid, or, you know, things like that. So, yeah, it fits a lot. And as I said, if you will really need to extend it, you could always clip the sides and make the bag bigger, and then you could fit even more things inside. So, yeah, it's a great bag. I like that it does not lose its shape, even when you put a lot of things inside. And it's a great everyday bag. It's durable. Yes, you saw there will be wear and tear, but again, 7 years. So that's kind of a long-lasting handbag. And it fits a lot. I took it in gray, so it fits with all of my outfits. So it's really a bag I've been wearing a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's my first one, my special one. And the new versions of the bag, so I looked, the sizes are similar, and as I said, there's minimal changes. The overall design is the same. There's just, like, for example, that the keys, you have this little strap that you can then leave or take away. I've noticed, and some minor changes. The supple bag looks a bit more different, but in the classic one, the Sac de Jour still looks exactly like this. So I would say, if you like this bag, go for it, especially since the price is still fine. I have the feeling the prices are not increasing that much, because, as I said, so this one, let me look again, retails for now 2,300. And to be honest, when I bought it, so 7 years ago, I think it was maybe short of 2,000, maybe 1,900, 2,000, something like that. So contrary to a lot of the other brands out there, it did not have so huge price increases, which is nice. And it makes it a luxury handbag that's nice, quality, and still affordable. And there's less and less of those. So if you like it, it's a good one. I hope Yves Saint Laurent will not jump onto this craziness of making all these price increases. Let's keep hope, guys. And yeah, and that's it for this video. If you have any other questions that I did not answer in this video, please ask it in the comment section below. And if you want, I will put here another video in case you have not seen it yet. And if you enjoy this video and you want to see more, then you can also subscribe to my channel by clicking here. And I will see you in the next video. Have a lovely day. Bye, guys.